Social Security is a cornerstone to everybody's retirement plan, and how much you end up with, large or small, depends upon how long you work and how much money you make. Today we're going to talk about how to calculate your Social Security benefit and 3 common questions that people ask regarding that. And those 3 questions are, will working longer increase my benefit? Will earning less than Social Security expects me to make decrease my benefit? And will working past 70 increase my Social Security benefit? Hey everyone, I'm Nick Davis, founder of Brindle and Bay Wealth Management. I'm here to show you how to master your money so that you can retire with calmness and clarity. Do me a favor, click that subscribe button so that other people can find our content as well. Now let's get started talking about how to calculate your Social Security benefit before we talk about answering those 3 questions. So first of all, how do you calculate your Social Security benefit? Well, it's based on your earnings history. So you want to look at your statement. You want to make sure that those earnings look correct. And you're going to notice that there are 2 columns. Now, the column on the left side is your Social Security contribution. The column on the right side is your Medicare contribution. And many times those 2 columns will be a little bit different because Social Security has a limit as to how much tax you pay. And the Medicare you pay to infinity and beyond, meaning no matter how much money you make, you're always paying for that Medicare. So you want to make sure that that looks correct. In fact, Social Security even tells you to make sure that it looks correct. And I'll read from the official document for you and put it in the notes. It says that you should use your personal account to check your earnings record carefully and make sure it shows the correct amount earned each year. So be sure to check to make sure that it looks correct. I had a person in 2015 who worked for 2 different hospitals. One hospital didn't report it correctly. She was getting ready to retire. She noticed it. She was able to contact Social Security. They made an adjustment and she increased her benefit. Now, that being said, there are a couple of acronyms that you want to become familiar with. These are all unique to Social Security. So first one is, they say it's your normal retirement age. So your normal retirement age is going to be anywhere from 66 years old to 66 and 2 months, 66 and 4 months, all the way up to 67 years old. And that is what they call your primary insurance amount, PIA. So your full retirement age would be your normal retirement age. Sometimes they refer to that as FRA. And then the PIA is your primary insurance amount. That's why they call it that. You know, it's just because Social Security is really old and it used to be used for something different. It used to be called OASDI, still is, but nobody knows it by that anymore. The other thing you got to know is that it takes your earnings history, your average index monthly earnings, AIME, and it calculates it based on a formula. And that combined with your normal retirement age is when they give you 100% of your benefit. So this is why it's so important for you to verify that your benefit, your earnings history looks correct, because that's going to affect you. Now, they take your 10 years to qualify, and they take a total of 35 best years. So if you look at your statement, it should say if you are qualified or not. It will say you are qualified or you are not qualified. And if it says you are not qualified, it will tell you how many more quarters you need. 40 quarters is 10 years. You need 40 quarters to qualify. They're going to take 35 of your best years. Now, a word of warning is that it'll say, for example, let's say that your benefit at your normal retirement age would be $2,800. It'll say it's an estimate based on the earnings of, and then it will fill in the blank and it will tell you whatever your earnings were last year. So it's looking forward and saying, well, you have to earn that to get this, and that's just an estimate. Now, you won't actually get that number anyway because they're not putting in the cost of living adjustment, and everybody knows the last couple of years, because of inflation, the earnings adjustment has been pretty newsworthy. Everybody's been talking about it. So you want to make sure that that looks correct. You want to make sure that nothing looks out of order. You may not remember what you made in 1980, but if something looks off, you want to make sure you take care to adjust that, to tell them to adjust that. And that brings us to the question, will working longer increase my benefit? And the answer is probably. It depends on how many years you have and if those new years are replacing old years, because they're taking your best 35 years. So if you don't have 35 years, or you don't have good income for the first part of your life, which most people have smaller incomes, and then when they get older, they get higher incomes. So in most cases, working longer does increase your benefit. Now, I do talk about those incentives in another video called 9 Questions to Ask Before You Claim Social Security. I will pin that here, and I'll also pin it at the end of the video if you want to click on it at the end. The next question is, what if my earnings are less than what my statement anticipates? Well, then your benefit will be smaller. So let's say you're 57 years old, your benefit's going to be $2,800 at 67 years old, and you're no longer going to work moving forward. Well, then your benefit's not going to be close to that $2,800 mark. You would then want to use a calculator that Social Security provides, or talk to a financial planner and calculate what that reduction in Social Security would be. The opposite is also true. If you're going to earn more than what your statement says, well, then that's going to increase the calculation, and that $2,800 number will probably be much larger than that based on your earnings. Will working past 70 increase my benefit? The answer is there are 2 ways your benefit grows. One is through incentives and the other is through your earnings. And so your incentives for delaying Social Security no longer exist after 70. However, your earnings can cause your benefit to go up. Recently, I heard of somebody who was contacted by Social Security because they were working past 70. They were 70 years old in 2 months. They then received a check for the last 2 months, and Social Security automatically turned on their benefit. So they will pay you. So if you're getting paid from Social Security and you are working, it's kind of like this circle. You're making money, but you're also paying in for Social Security. And if those new years of earnings replace years of smaller earnings of those 35 best years, then they will adjust your benefit every single year. In fact, I'll tell you what the official document says. It says, if your latest year of earnings turns out to be one of your highest years, we refigure your benefit and pay you any increase due. Now, this happens automatically in December, it says, and it does it for the previous year. So December of 2022, it would then calculate what happened in 2021. You would automatically begin to receive an increased benefit thereafter. So again, in short, pay attention to your earnings. It's based on your best 35 years. If you make less than what Social Security anticipates you to make, it's going to reduce your benefit. If you make more than what they anticipate, it's going to increase your benefit. If you work past 70, it can increase your benefit. However, my opinion is you shouldn't work past 70 for the sake of Social Security. If you're working past 70, it's because your plan needs you to, or maybe it just gives you a sense of well-being because you love what you do. So again, that's how Social Security is calculated. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Hey everybody, Nick Davis here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this, please consider subscribing. Also, if you would like to see the way that we help people master their retirement money so that they can go on to that next phase with calmness and joy, take a look at us at brindleandbay.com.